Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for coming today. I really appreciate it. And to all of you out there, I really appreciate you joining us as well. So today's lesson is going to be about love and, romantic love, love with family, friends, how that love can extend out to neighbors, people in general, how you can maybe make your life a little bit easier even when you're at the grocery store by incorporating love. So we hope you'll enjoy today's lessons. I think that's all of our announcements. We will go ahead and get started here today, talking all about love. One of my favorite topics, one of the things that really makes the world go around is love. One of the things that lights us up. Most of us wouldn't be here today if it weren't for love. So
that's a good point.
So with that, going right into one of the things a lot of people think of first with the concept of love is that significant other, that person in your life that you have already, or some people are seeking it, some people are perfectly happy being single. So, that all of those are really great forms of love. The biggest part of love is really learning to love yourself. So whether you're in a relationship or you're by yourself or whatever the situation, loving yourself comes first. When you love yourself well, then you can love that significant other fully and wholeheartedly. Yeah. You can feel the love that the other person has for you because you already have that love for yourself. So very, very vital. And I was also thinking, partly because of this book I'm reading, what amazing times we're in that we can choose our significant other too. And back in the day, families would, and in some countries still, families choose for you.
Dictate your
way back in
yeah.
history, the man's family would purchase the female, and then you're just kind of property that you're purchased.
I'm not even touching that one.
And we've come a long way. It's
Thankfully,
really nice.
yes.
Yeah, it's really nice that now
that people are ideally thought of as people.
Right, exactly, yeah. So it's interesting the way things change throughout history. And through this evolution, over the generations, we've also learned more about what love is, too, because love used to be more of a practical thing. People would get together, and there were certain duties for both partners,
yeah.
and then it was like a practicality of that's the best way to run a household. And it's...
I think with time, the fact that, I think the living longer... Hi, baby girl. Sorry. I think the living longer thing has a lot to do with it, too, because back, if your average lifespan was going to be 35 years old, if you were going to have kids, you had to do it...
immediately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So by the time you were in your, what we would consider a legal age, you needed to have kids and be running an entire house by yourself so that you actually had a life to live.
Right, exactly. This is Minerva, everyone. Normally we have Luna up here. This is Minerva today. She's our kitty. and then the other thing that's beautiful that's evolved as people are starting to grow and they're accepting that we can choose who we love, and it's so wonderful that now we're having more acceptance of whether it's a man and a woman or a man and a man or two females that love each other. Finally, it seems like the world is catching up and realizing that love is love. It doesn't matter who you are or who you love. Yeah. It's this, divine love that's within each of us, and it's who we are. It's what we radiate, and we should all be able to love whatever other person it is that comes into our life.
Absolutely.
And it's finally so wonderful to see culture finally coming up and recognizing this
it's that whole
acceptance.
where they ban what they consider to be the norm, and it's so funny because one of the things that we plan on talking about is what the norm is, and the fact that there is no such thing as a norm.
Right,
and so
exactly everybody wants to be seen as unique and individual. And yet they all want to be the same like everybody else. Yeah. And there's this we can be accepted if we're just like everybody else, but I'm unique and I'm special. Well,
you can't be both. And the fact that we are actually unique, that means there is no such thing as a norm, because whatever you consider a norm, there's this whole group of people that don't fall in that, which means that then it's not the norm.
And how boring would it be if everybody was the same?
The norm.
Just like our fingerprints are all unique. Everybody's fingerprint of their life and their spirit and their soul, we're all unique. And we're all connected. We're
Yeah.
all one at the core of who we are.
And I
We're
think-
all one.
Yeah,
so
so people are grasping that now. They're
only-
allowing that.
it only makes sense to have respect for everybody else and love for everybody else, because they're all extensions of who you are at the core. We have that, great source of love and light that we all come from, and we're
Mhm.
all down here to experience life in different ways, and so then we get assimilated back up to that same core. So wouldn't you love all of the other extensions of yourself?
Of yourself, exactly.
Absolutely.
It's like hating a finger.
Right? Absolutely, absolutely. I
Why
like
would
the
you do that?
analogy. Right, exactly. And so with love, I know we've talked about relationships already, and the 3 C's, compromise, communication, and
Compassion.
Compassion. I always stumble on that one. I don't know.
Says a
Maybe I need
lot.
to work a little on my compassion.
It's very telling.
But we've already gone over that in some of the previous lessons. But that's so important with all relationships, with love relationships, with friends, with family, communication, compromise, and compassion. When you have all of those, then your relationship is just going to grow. It's going to shine from within. You're going to get through all of those obstacles. And then that's the other thing too. When you're in a relationship, things are always going to come up and be trying at different times. There are issues that come with being in life, and so the important thing is to keep your relationship up above those problems. So you're always here, and the problems, the issues are always here. And when you are rising above those as a relationship, it doesn't tear or tug at your relationship. You come together at this level and you look down at those issues and you figure out how to piece them apart and how to put things together and how to solve those issues together.
Scale. It's all about seeing things from the higher perspective of your life as a whole and what's going on with you guys as a whole, instead of the day-to-day routines that seem to just overwhelm us. And they seem like a big deal at the time, but they really aren't.
They really aren't. Exactly. Yeah. And the same thing can be with your relationship with yourself as well. So when you're facing a dilemma or an issue or something you're trying to fix, if you mentally raise yourself above the level of the issue, if you have some financial problems, that seems to be a common one for a lot of people. If you raise yourself up above that mental level of the problem and look down and you figure out how you can solve that issue, and you can do some of that with meditation too. There's some great meditation techniques where you can go into the back of your brain and tell it that you release any karmic issues. You mentally raise yourself above whatever the problems are, relationally or whatever it is. You allow yourself to be free from those karmic issues, and then you just allow light to flood in, and you fill that void where you release the karmic debt from the past, fill it with white light, and then love, exactly, that white light of love. You just fill yourself, and then you'll be able to see that the solution presents itself and you're moving forward. And that can apply to friends as well, to family as well. A lot of times it seems like people develop more issues with family than friends per se. We get issues with everybody.
Because you're born into a family.
Right, it's not what you choose, and I
Right.
think that when we're on the other side and we're choosing what family we want to come into, we will a lot of times choose dynamics that will challenge us to help us grow, because if you're born into a family where everything just comes easy, everybody just gets along perfectly and wonderfully, you're not challenging each other to necessarily get better and to grow. And our early formative years are typically with our family. And so if you're being challenged to grow and you're seeing things in different lights, then you're picking and choosing. I'd like to be like this. I don't want to be like this. This is really pushing me here. This I'm going to overcome. So you can really use that to your advantage to build to your strength. And it will take you one of two ways. Usually it'll either knock on you until you're just,
Beat you down, kind
right.
of. Yeah.
Or you turn it into your strength, your Chiron. And everybody has this ability at any age in your life to turn those challenges into your Chiron, into your strength. And so
Who's your Chiron?
Chiron is the wounded healer. I keep thinking I need to do a lesson on him sometime. It's an astrological figure.
Centaur.
A centaur? Okay, yeah. And it's just an amazing thing. I know that it impacted me when I learned about Chiron when I was younger, because it was learning how to take any challenges and turn those weaknesses into your strength and just really can propel yourself forward that way.
It was one I was thinking of for one of our other lessons was weaknesses and strengths about people. So that would be a perfect timing. Yeah,
That
would.
would,
That'd
yeah.
be good together.
Yeah. And then friends too. That's the same thing of love. We love on all different levels, but whether you like your friends or you see it as love, it's that same essence, that same energy of that pure love light, that connection, you know, and you want to make your friends happy, or you enjoy your friends when you're in their presence, and so it's that same love energy. And those 3 C's of relationships apply across the board to all of these: communication, compromise, and compassion. And you can also really extend that light out. You can really start changing the world when you focus on drawing in that love energy and sending it out at a lot of different moments. So if you're in the grocery store, this is one of the things sometimes that I do when we're in the grocery store. We tend to, if there's a line, it's what happens. It's part of life is having lines.
Standing in line, yeah.
It's just what happens. It's part of how our society functions.
Yep. Waiting your turn.
And you can turn anything into a pleasure if you choose to. So both of us will a lot of times kind of send love to other people around us in line, whether it's giving them a smile or paying them a compliment, and just notice the people around you. You know, take off those blinders, look at the people around you, engage them in conversation, and kind of lift them up. You can draw out their personality, and it really makes them feel better. A simple smile can change their whole day. A compliment, taking notice of what they do and what
how
they're,
they
all
are.
of that, and getting them talking about themselves will really lift them up. It can make a huge impact, just a couple minutes of their day. And then before you know it, you're up at the front of the line, and you're checking out, and you're on to the next part of your day.
And then you can do it for the person who's checking you out, because they usually have to deal with the worst people in the world.
Right. The people that were frustrated at the end of the line get up to them, and then they take the brunt of that oftentimes.
Yeah, exactly. So
if you cheer them up, ask them how their day's going, and really listen to them too, you know, and kind of have them expand on it. And in those ways, that's another way that we're sharing love, and we're spreading that light, and we're, expanding that. One of the things that I do sometimes when we're in line too, if we're not talking to somebody, is I'll just really focus on drawing in that divine light. So you focus on bringing that white light in, or you might see it as a pink light when you're drawing in love energy. You draw it in through the crown of your head, and you just start to expand it through your body first, and then you expand it out to the people around you. And you can really notice a visible difference in the people around you. If it feels like there's a bunch of grumpy people around you, draw in that love light, fill yourself first, and then just send that energy out to everybody around you. Just mentally, you can use your breath as a good way to do it. When, as you breathe out, you send that love energy out, and you'll start to see people's shoulders kind of drop down. Their heads might pick up a little bit. They'll relax, and they can feel that. We're all electromagnetic energy, and we're all sensitive at different levels. Some people are very sensitive and notice energy around them very easily, and other people might not notice it so easily, but they will feel that difference. You'll see their face start to soften a little bit.
They'll react to it even though they don't necessarily feel it in their conscious.
Right, and it's a wonderful way if you see a mother struggling with her child, just send that love energy out. It might help calm the child down. Focus on sending her a little bit of confident energy. Everybody has the ability to do this, and it strengthens the more you do it too. So just bringing that in and spreading that out. If it's a long line, you can focus on then spreading it out through the store. Fill the whole room, fill the area. I do this in our house a lot, and so this morning actually with my meditation, I wasn't planning on talking about it per se, but it's just one of the things that I was doing. I started my meditation, filled myself with the white light, and then expanded that through the room and then through the whole house. And then I did another couple breaths to expand it around the outer part of the house and around the property. And then I focused on earth and sky's location, and I sent it through the whole room here and through the whole house and through the property boundaries. And so you just do multiple breaths sending that out, and it can really transform the planet. One of the other things I add into it then is sending that energy into the earth. I do a lot of meditating, visualizing myself as a tree and seeing the roots like going deep down into the earth. And so as you're doing this love meditation, you can also then see that love going down into the planet and healing the ground and kind of transmuting all of these things we're doing with our modern society, it can help heal and transmute that energy. So,
and then you do it to fill yourself
right.
again.
And then at the end of that, after you finish sending it out to everything, then you do a few more breaths of bringing it back into yourself. You always want to make sure you're full of yourself. So when you start it, you bring that light into yourself. When you finish it, you bring that light into yourself. That way you're always full. Sometimes I'll picture like a couple of like energy oxygen tanks on my back. So I'll make sure those are filled back up, and then that'll support me through the day too.
Nice.
So whatever works for you as a visualization, but just really focusing on love comes from you first, and then it extends out to those closest around you, and you can expand it out to your neighbors, strangers, everybody around you, and just really bring up the whole planet in doing so. The Divine Love Meditation is such a good one to do every day if you can. I focus on that one a lot with myself, and I'll add other aspects of meditation in. But that's really one of my staples, and I encourage everybody to do that, where you just really bring in that love energy, see how it transforms you. I also encourage people when they're starting it to, as you do that, look in a mirror and then see yourself and tell yourself that you love yourself, and use your name. So like looking in the mirror, I love you, Angela, or whatever your name is. And it's very, very hard for a lot of people to do it first. It's really hard for a lot of people to see your own reflection in the mirror and say, I love you, to give yourself a hug. For a lot of people starting out, it's very hard, but the more you do it, it's going to raise your confidence. It's going to help you to really love who you are, see who you are for who you are, and love that person. And then the more you love yourself, the more you can love all of those around you.
Absolutely.
And it will lift up your romantic relationship, it'll lift up your friends and your family, and just you'll start noticing that magnetism that people have towards you too, because they'll be attracted to that. Again, we're all electromagnetic energy, so they'll start being attracted to that. You'll see the type of people around you kind of elevating to more positive people
Absolutely.
too, because that, and like attracts like as far as energy, and so the
water finds its own level.
right. And so you'll start, if you have people around you that do seem sort of negative, then you start to notice some of those people might go, you're going to have more people that are positive coming in and filling that too. So I just love the whole concept of love. I remember the first time I touched in with the source, I was young, somewhere between like 12 and 14, I think, when I was meditating, and I catapulted up to the other side. And I've had a few near-death experiences. A near-death experience was where I was just kind of astral on the other side. It's overwhelming when you touch in with that ultimate source of love. It's just overwhelming, and it opens your eyes so much to seeing that spark within everybody and that divine spark that's in each person. And so that's, I think, part of why I encourage everybody to really do that meditation, because it's
it gives them the chance to be, that's the place where they find their best them.
Yes, yeah. And that's one of the things you tell me I see all the time. No matter who it is that we're dealing with, I always see the best of who they are.
Best of who they are, yeah.
Yeah, those are the traits I see. And everybody at their core, I don't care who you are or what you've done, you have that divine spark within you, and you are an amazing person at your core. And it's about letting all those other layers fall away, that, letting any negativity or gunk energy or issues and all of that, let that fall away and allow that core of who you are to come out, because it's within everybody, every life here, every animal, it's within all life here, and we are all one and the same. And
so, it's so funny that people have a tendency to, when they're hurt or when they're angry about something, they build those walls because they feel more protected. And yet, if you can just embrace all of that love inside of yourself, that's actually the strongest that you can be.
It is.
And you don't feel as strong necessarily because you are showing everything who you are. You feel
you drop
exposed.
Those walls.
Yeah, you kind of feel exposed because the walls fall away, but at the same time you actually are so much stronger, and with that, and you don't even need any of the walls.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Love is an amazing thing. Weddings are one of my favorite things too. I love weddings. I love weddings when it's really a true, wonderful
When it's a good,
love.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
We've seen a few lately. it's pretty
So,
awesome. So
it's
yeah.
exciting. Anything else?
I think that's it. We're getting our YouTube page up soon.
Yes, yep. If you haven't already liked our Facebook page, please do so.
Please do so. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we have all of the services, all the lessons and meditations archived on the Facebook
Yep.
page, Earth and Sky Center. I'll post the link below the video after we are done here.
And pretty soon we're gonna transition in not too long to broadcasting live there. So if you like these and you watch these, please go do that so you can catch up or so you'll see it when those come out.
Right, and then we're doing the YouTube channel in part because we're hoping to be able to do closed captioning too for some other people that have been interested
Yeah.
in having this closed caption. So we're looking into all of that.
Yeah.
Just bear with us as we figure all of this out.
Baby steps we're trying.
Exactly, and if there's a certain platform that you're interested in with social media, let us know too.
Yeah,
If there's something that
absolutely.
you use a lot and you would like us to look into it,
Mhm,
then let us know as
absolutely,
we're
yeah.
trying to expand. We might be doing a Squarespace website soon
yeah,
too. We'll
yeah.
finish the YouTube setup first, and we'll probably be doing something on
Squarespace, yeah.
as well.
Yeah. And then and were you planning on doing sort of for gyms and stuff on there?
Possibly.
Like a gym store or something?
We might be
maybe?
doing a store.
Yeah, we
on
might be
that,
doing like a
too.
gym and crystal
So,
store on the Squarespace.
Yeah,
We'll
and
see how it
other
goes. Just
items,
thoughts.
other magical items and things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just thoughts.
yeah, we're working on that. So if you have ideas of something you'd like us to expand on too,
Yeah.
let us know that as well.